Heya Cryptozens, tonight's show, Dogefather versus Doge Creator. It's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is June 1st, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nicodemus. I'll be your host. The cover model, mascot, and co-host for this podcast is Tex. And together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. So take a minute, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast now, because we're here at 10 p.m. every night so that when you leave in the morning, you're taking with you the crypto news analysis that you need to start your day. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. But before we head into that, I'm going to do something new. I'm going to read a listener's comment. It comes from our YouTube channel, and the comment was left on last night's show, specifically regarding the Russia story. Now remember, they're planning on legalizing crypto for international trade. And Merrick's commented, quote, Russia is leading crypto industry. They want to internationally trade goods and energy resources in crypto, but keep rubles for national market. And it looks like you're exactly right. It looks like that's their plan. Like I said last night, I just don't know that there's enough liquidity in the crypto market to support their economy. And even if there is, then the question becomes, who's going to trade with them? Thanks for listening, Merrick's. So this has been going on for a while now. Billionaire and self-described Dogefather and Jackson Palmer, co-creator of Dogecoin, they just haven't had much to say about each other lately, or at least nothing nice anyway. And it would appear that a lot of this comes from a claim. Jackson Palmer claimed that he solved Twitter's spam bot problem. He said that he solved the problem and Elon Musk was too inept to put it into action. Palmer said in an interview that his simple Python script could remove the spam bots of Twitter. He said that his script was able to automatically reply to scam tweets, and they'd be warnings, beware, scumbaggery ahead. And so it came to pass that on Monday, Palmer told the news outlet Crikey that Musk had reached out to him to get that script. He further claims that Musk couldn't do it. He said Musk lacked the technical acumen to run the script. He said, quote, Elon reached out to me to get a hold of that script, and it became apparent very quickly that he didn't understand coding as well as he made out. Now, to be clear, Palmer has a bit of a history of lashing out at Musk. It was during the same interview with Crikey that his animosity for the SpaceX founder really came to light. So you see, it's his contention that Musk, he doesn't want to improve Twitter. He doesn't want to make Twitter better. Palmer thinks Musk may want to, quote, drive it into the ground at a much lower price, and I think that's what he's doing. You see, that was in response to Musk's tweet on the 17th. Now, Musk, he wants an accounting of how many users on Twitter are human and how many are bots. Musk's contention is that there is a substantial percentage of bots on Twitter. I think I heard him say like 20%. That's his estimate. He says he's not going to buy Twitter if its human user base is less than 95%. So it's his contention that unless Parag Agrawal can show that less than 5% of the accounts on Twitter are bots, then it is not the same product that he was originally interested in. That it's materially different because its customer base is not as described. Now, just as an aside here, I am active on Twitter. Hey, come follow me. My Twitter handle is in the show notes. But bots are a real and huge issue. And it's beyond how incredibly annoying that they are, because there's a safety issue involved as well. You see, spammy bots are annoying. They're dilutive. They're the noise in the signal-to-noise ratio. But there are worse consequences. Spam bots, they're frequently used to spread scams, and then they become scam bots. And that's a huge issue. If you care about crypto, if you want to see crypto advance, scam bots are something you should stand against, even if you're not on Twitter. Because scam bots hurt people, and that hurts the industry. All the way from the person who was injured to the hodlers because it gives a bad impression of the industry, and that doesn't do any of us any good. So the issue of how many bots are on Twitter is a valid question. Let's check in on the markets. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $1.23 trillion, which is down a whole lot from the $1.42 trillion of yesterday. It's down 6.14% in 24. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin, down 6.67%, Ethereum, down 7.14%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin, down 6.54%. Now, it was a year ago that Palmer threw shade at Musk, called him a grifter, said Musk, quote, sells a vision in hopes that he can one day deliver what he's promising, but he doesn't know that. Now, Musk is Musk, and he did fire back. You see, he got on Twitter and he responded directly to the article with, quote, you falsely claimed your lame snippet of Python gets rid of bots. Okay, buddy, then share it with the world. And further, he said, quote, my kids wrote better script when they were 12 than that nonsense Jackson sent me. Like I said, if it's so great, he should share it with the world and make everyone's experience with Twitter better. If he does, you'll see what I mean. Now, personally, I haven't looked at his script. I've read his explanation of what it does, and from his explanation that he was keying off of, he says the profile name, I think he means the Twitter handle, because he's talking about his script looking for subtle variations between usernames. People putting in Unicode characters to substitute for letters and numbers that are in the valid name. Then it compares the difference between those two names. If it's above a certain threshold, then that gets reported to the Twitter API. And you look at something like this and wonder, why now? Why is this coming up now? Maybe it's because a few days ago, Musk announced that, like Tesla, SpaceX was going to start accepting Dogecoin for merchandise. I think that's part of it. Now, Palmer, he was one of the creators of Dogecoin. He left the project. He completely dropped it in 2015. And he is not a fan of crypto, the crypto industry, none of it. The NFT market's not looking so good right now. The global NFT market cap is over $11.46 billion. Sales volume is down sharply, 12.48% in 24. According to CoinMarketCap, the top 5 NFT collections by sales volume are Goblin Town, followed by Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, Otherdeed, and CryptoPunks. Now keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. Well, he might not like crypto. He does like the podcasts, though. He has his own new podcast called Griftonomics. The name, of course, is an expression of his distaste for crypto. And while he was talking to Crikey and promoting Griftonomics, he said he wishes, quote, it was the end of crypto, but it's not. He also stated his belief that, quote, increasingly people are doing nothing but making money off of doing nothing. Honestly, it sounds like he's a little depressed that things aren't worse. Because he said, quote, I honestly thought crypto would implode a bit more quickly and people would learn their lesson. And here's the part where he sounds disappointed. Quote, but increasingly in the past 6 months, I've seen a continued perseverance. You see these big people with big money getting involved, and that means it's not slowing down. Now, he says he sees too much money pushed by too many promoters to have any choice, any hope for a crypto winner. He said, quote, they're waiting for a fresh batch of fools to come in. This happens in cycles. And it's not just Dogecoin that he hates. It's not just crypto. He hates them all. ICOs, DAOs, NFTs. He called initial game offerings a swindle. Now, to be fair, there are some people in this space who agree with some of those characterizations. There are people who love crypto and hate NFTs. Palmer hates them all. And here's why I don't think that he's an evil person or anything. Here's what he said, quote, I think there's going to need to be a crash. I think we're well overdue for some sort of pop. And I don't think it's going to be a big boom. I think it's going to be a lot more painful, and unfortunately, it will probably affect minorities and those at the lower end of the socioeconomic spectrum when it happens. Now, to be fair, when Palmer and Marcus created Dogecoin back in 2013, it was created as a joke. It was meant to be a satirical commentary on the idea of minting altcoins that had no real value. But then that changed. And that change seems to be what has gotten under Palmer's skin. Now, he left that project. He left Dogecoin in 2015. In the intervening time, last year, he dropped a scathing review of the progress of his own creation. He said, quote, "After years of studying it, I believe that cryptocurrency is an inherently right-wing hyper-capitalistic technology built primarily to amplify the wealth of its proponents through a combination of tax avoidance, diminished regulatory oversight, and artificially enforced scarcity." Yeah, and I get it. He's not a big fan of extravagant wealth, it seems. He said, quote, "My opinion on him," speaking of Elon, "my opinion on him and all billionaires is that I don't care much for them." So now what's happened? Well, the Dogecoin, that's what happened. Because Dogecoin came to prominence largely because of the efforts of Elon Musk and the Doge army. Doge has a rabid fan base of Shiba Inu loving devotees who hang on every word that drops from Musk's lips. Elon Musk, the Dogefather, self-appointed leader of his creation, which was meant to be a satire against wealth and instead has become a vehicle for the dreams of those who want to be wealthy. To his mind, Elon Musk is taking his satire creation and turning it into a real thing. He's turning Palmer's creation into the very thing that Palmer stands against. No wonder Palmer hates the guy. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed tonight's show, like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a glowing review, because that helps other people find their way to this podcast. We're here each and every night at 10 p.m. Pacific, bringing you the crypto news analysis that you need to start your day. You can find us on podcasting platforms everywhere or on YouTube. Do you have questions or comments? Reach out and let us know. The email address is nick@cryptoovernighter.com. That's nick@cryptoovernighter.com. Or you can find us on YouTube. Leave me a comment and maybe I'll read it in the next podcast. We'll see you tomorrow night.